Hello everybody, this is me, Dusty Circuit here, and this is going to be the last of these, of my modded, world tour videos, or at least of all the worlds the modded worlds that I have saved copies of on my computer. And right now, I am actually in, all the mod 6, because me and Lucario actually played in this, at least in this particular world, in this mod pack, at least at one point in time. Though, as far as I'm aware, he isn't really playing Minecraft at this time. So I believe, like, I forget where the spawn was. I think it was somewhere in this general area. And then we ended up, I think the reason we ended up making a base, like our first base here, was because of the village nearby. And I forget where all this came from, but I'm guessing from... I guess in this mod pack there is an item that literally makes these structures, or these buildings. And I guess Lucario used this as a way to get us certain resources early on. And that's a jumbo furnace there. Just kind of, I think it's just like a regular furnace, but it has more slots. Now, this is really our first space. There used to be a reactor here. Well, it's from the version of the Extreme Reactors mod that was ported to this version. I forget what it's called, but we had a reactor there, but I think when we moved bases, I ended up removing it. And I think that somewhere we would have had an ME system. And here was actually an RF Tools builder quarry that I used to get resources. And then that's our first nether portal. Though the nether in this mod pack is really quite something, though I'm not looking to get lost here, though. Well, I don't think we really were in this base all too long. I think probably within a couple of weeks of us playing, or maybe a week and a half, I made the executive decision for us to move to over here and start our new base. Though me and Lucario actually took very different paths in this mod pack. I largely focused on technology mods, while Lucario largely focused on magic mods, exploration, and also like certain builds, like when I wanted us to kind of have more things more organized, but this main room ended up being kind of ended up being used for a lot of different things. We have all these machines and all these things just randomly scattered about. And at least my plan for this was to have an AE2 system, with this being I guess the hub, with the controller and the interface, and this upper level being for drives and auto crafting, and auto processing as well. Though I never ended up finishing the space. Though I believe these upper levels I would have served other purposes as well had the space have been finished. But over here, because I've never actually used the so in this version of Mechanism, which is in 1.16, I think it's 1.16.4, though I'm not entirely sure. But this I forget in what version of Mechanism this was added, but Mechanism actually now has a fission reactor multi-block. In addition to the fusion reactor. And well, as I've actually, prior to this, I've never played around with this, I decided I wanted to go with this for our main power, our main power for our base. And it originally started out a lot simpler than this, but I ended up expanding it into a setup that's frankly creates more power than we ever need, and I think I eventually wanted to actually do the part of the mod that turns the nuclear waste into antimatter, more as a way of getting rid of it, disposing of it, but also using it to craft certain items. And really, the gist of the setup is this farm is producing, has, I think, uranium, coal, and fluorite plants, which is basically all what's needed to make the fuel for the reactor. And that's largely what all these machines are doing. It's kind of a complicated process, but the uranium, coal, and fluorite all eventually come together to make fissile fuel, which is what the reactor uses. And you can just run a direct, like, pump water directly into the reactor to make steam. But I think because I wanted to get more power out of it, I chose to use to actually cool this using the sodium. And so it's basically run sodium through the reactor and into a heat exchanger where which is making steam for the turbine. And over here, I am just storing the power that the reactor produces, and I try to like automate a way of disabling the reactor if the power if this battery gets full. But I believe I think at some point I think I never finished this or I disabled it for some reason, but I'm not entirely sure. But and over here I actually have I believe over here I actually made a way to, so if for whatever reason the reactor stops getting water, or for whatever reason the flow of water between and the setup is interrupted, which would cause this reactor to overheat and melt and cause a meltdown to happen. There actually is a way using redstone, these redstone ports to basically, well, if the reactor gets above a certain temperature, it'll output a signal, and then you can put that back into here to tell the reactor to shut down. And I believe one time, if I remember, if memory serves, I think I might have had 1 or 2 actual accidents here that actually led to release of radiation, but I forget I forget if I actually had to go into creative mode to resolve those or not. I think I actually had 1 accident here, but and for those who don't know, kind of one thing about this mechanism, fission reactor, is the nuclear waste byproduct, and if I were to break this barrel right now or this pipe, it's gonna release nuclear waste into the world and cause radiation to spread, which basically poisons you if you're in the area and kills you. And it decays over time, but it takes quite a while to do so. I forget how long though. But I actually put this a little away from the base, kind of for the exact reason if any radiation leak is to happen, it's not immediately going to affect the base. And actually, I believe actually I would have live streamed a little bit of me and Lucario actually playing this, but unfortunately, a lot of this, I ended up playing background music in those streams that that flagged a copyright notice on YouTube, and largely out of fear, I took those down for that reason. But it never, if I would have left the videos up, it would not affect my channel. It would only affect it would only affect monetization, but my channel isn't monetized anyway. And I believe, and this over here, Driver Tech actually made, and even though it's against SCADE rules, I did invite Driver Tech to my to my little server, and he actually did play this for a little bit, though. If memory serves, either the game wasn't running very well, like they were not, like their computer didn't handle this mod pack very well, or their connection to my server wasn't very good. But at least they were able to play. And the same for Lucario, like their connection was awful, but at least it worked for them, which is at least good. And over here, I think I just would have made another farm for just for resources. And then these are basically, this is a mod that allows you to make plants that make crops of basically any resource in the game, from like dirt to like gold and diamonds. So it's like you can literally grow resources that way. And this is a tinker's smeltery. And this would have been a kitchen. I believe Lucario wanted to make a kitchen, and I made this farm over here. And really the plan was in this mod pack we had, I forget what exactly it's called, but it was one of those mods that is supposed to add so it's basically makes it so that you cannot just rely on one food source to gain health. Like, it's like you have to eat, like, I forget what the mod's called, but it was this mod where you have to, it's like if you keep eating one food source, it how much health it gives you diminishes each time, or how much hunger it gives you, it diminishes, and it basically forces you to move to other food sources. And I think it's like if you, by the time you've eaten, I think it's like a 200 or 300 different food sources. Only then the first food source you've eaten will actually be viable again. Though the mod that we had here, I don't think the mod that we had here actually worked that way. It's just if you eat multiple food sources, it gives you more health. I believe that was how it worked, so although I could be wrong. It's probably been about a year since me and Lucario played in this world. And though me and Lucario, as I've said, we've largely took different paths in this. Though and though I believe that, well, if we go down here, this is largely just kind of where we put more of our machines. and like it's like literally any mod that I happen to be using that would require a machine, I would end up just stuffing it down here, and also to an extent up here as well. Though over here is another there's actually another induction matrix, though we ended up building another one at the reactor. And actually back in here, if I can get to it, I also made a I actually made a tier 5 ore processing setup for Mechanism. And actually compared to the one that we saw in my Skyblock world in the 1.7.10 pack, that this one I actually made a lot more compact. Like I literally was able to cram an entire tier 5 ore processing setup with just in this relatively small space, which is quite an amazing feat if you'd ask me. And then actually over here, Lucario actually decided to make a refined storage setup, because they, unlike me, they're pretty much a newbie when it comes to modded, and they of course refined storage was a more intuitive mod to them, and they really tried to sway me to replace this applied energistic system with that mod, but I strongly stood my ground, because I didn't want to rip this whole system out and just replace it. And as I largely understand how Applied Energistics 2 works, and it's the mod that I'm most familiar with, and this is kind of my base at the end of the day. I think we ended up sticking with Applied Energistics 2, but Lucario really strongly wanted to go the other direction. But we eventually ended up largely not that there ever was a fight between us, but we were able to reconcile, and we largely were able to play in this world together, though their enthusiasm for this mod pack really only lasted a month, if that. And as long as I've known Lucario, they've just been rather fickle when it comes to what game they want to play with me. And it's kind of largely like getting Lucario to keep playing a game with me for more than a month is a real challenge. And by the time we've been playing a game more than 2 months, I'm really forcing him to work against his I'm really forcing Lucario to work against their ADHD in order to keep doing what I want to do. And yeah, it is true, Lucario does have ADHD, and it's largely kind of influenced the path that our friendship has has taken, and for the most part, I'm doing my best to embrace that, as it is giving me opportunities to try new things that on my own I otherwise would not have considered doing. But at the same time, it is kind of infuriating to me when, like, uh I'm just like really getting into when I'm just about to make a big accomplishment in, say, in this mod pack, but Lucario is heavily trying to sway me away, like, to playing another mod pack or even a different game. And I've largely kind of grown to just accept that, because that's just the way they are. That's just the way Lucario is. But as I mean, if anything, I'm like the opposite of ADHD. Like, I keep like heck, I have been playing Minecraft like extensively since 2012, where, like, with actually very few with actually little interruption. There to this day, I have not taken an extended break from Minecraft, like, as in never even touched the game uh for more than a week or so. But I guess it's just because there's so much to do in Minecraft. Like, it's like, well, if, like, you get bored of vanilla, there's modded, or if you get bored of modded, there's probably another update out for vanilla, and, well, if you're bored of both, there's mini games. And on top of that, there's also all the events on the skate gaming community. And I have had periods of just lack of inspiration, and just times where my motivation to play Minecraft is decreased. But I've never outright been burned out of this game. Like, I've never had any times where I have to totally step away from this game and not touch it at all because I'm that burned out. So really, in this world, we do have a Enderman farm, which I made for the purpose of farming the RF tools dimlets. Though it works a little bit differently in this version. You actually get knowledge. You get dimlets, and you'll get what are called knowledge fragments, which you have to research, and then that gives you the ability to make certain dimlets. And I believe Lucario, at least, has also delved a little bit in, like Lucario's delved in other mods. Like, I think they've delved into uh I'm blanking. I believe it's astral sorcery. That's what you see in the sky there. And then they think they've delved into like Britannia, and I think they also set up these spawner farms. And I believe all Driver Tech ever did was make this setup here. Though really, when Lucario stopped playing this, I largely stopped playing it around the same time, because really at that point, just it's just whenever I'm playing with other people in a world, and then those people for one reason or another stop playing, I just find it hard for me to keep playing alone. So, uh, though I understand for a lot of people, modded Minecraft is harder to run, and and even just simple things as the loading time of the game is a problem for many people. And though I mean, like, I still would have the ability to play on my own, or but to play alone, but it's just not this. It's just the experience is not really quite the same as if you have other people on the server playing along with you. And also unmodded, at least on Asgard, the experience is very different. It's like there's no like there's no shop system. There's no events. It's like it's really you're really just playing the game and kind of progressing in whatever mods we see fit, and at whatever pace we see fit. And sometimes players help one another, but many players prefer to progress on their own, and rather than have things given to them. And for many people, modded is mostly about it's mostly about the content, and not so much about having having a permanent base, and having and having like a base and farm set up. Where I largely play the game, or the way I play modded is it's largely the same way as I play vanilla, only instead of primarily building with redstone, I'm building with with uh with whatever machine or technology mods that happen to be the highlight of the pack that I'm playing. So anyway, I guess this is probably a good time to wrap this up. And I'm largely waiting to make my next Asgard update video until the pack is chosen, but a few days ago, the voting was announced, and also and it's it was announced that 3 packs were chosen as potential candidates for what the next Asgard server will be, and we were given about we the community of gaming were given about a week to put our votes in for what mod pack we want, and then those votes are going to be tallied up, and whatever pack gets the most votes is going to be the the pack that will be chosen for Asgard 2. But once the pack is chosen, I am going to be making my next update video as for, and really to share my thoughts as for my thoughts about I guess what pack I voted for and what my reasoning is, and if I have any concerns, I'll voice them, but I'm gonna try my best to keep the video as positive as possible, and hopefully within the first couple of days of Asgard being open to the Skade public, I have no idea if I'm really going to make it a proper Let's Play series, but just more here's what I'm doing on Asgard series. Kind of similarly to my mini series I uploaded about the Ultimate Survival World on Vanaheim. And I might also record some videos in a call with other skaters as long as they're okay with that. And largely just upload videos of what I'm doing on Asgard, and probably even take some of my viewers along with the ride of what kind of activities and what kind of builds are doing and what mods I'm learning about. So, although I'm largely just kind of waiting and seeing what's going to happen, but no matter what happens, I am going to be playing on Asgard, and I do want to make some more. I really want to make some more videos, especially of Asgard during its heydays. And anyway, thank you for watching my last video of my modded single player world tours. If you liked what you saw, remember to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to see my next video, be sure to hit the bell for notifications. And peace out, and stay tuned for Asgard. Bye.